of the government from all sources during the year. Budget receipts refers to estimated money receipts of the government from all sources during the fiscal year. Budget receipts refers to the estimated money receipts of the government from sources during the fiscal year. Revenue receipts. These receipts do not create any corresponding liability for the government. Example, tax receipt, license, etc. These receipts do not create any corresponding liability for the government. Revenue receipts does not create any corresponding liability for the government. Example, tax receipt and license. These do not cause any reduction in assets of the government. Example, license fees, gifts, grants. These do not cause any reduction, does not create any liability. These receipts are recurring in nature and assets and liability of the government are not affected. Revenue receipts, these do not create any corresponding liability for the government. These do not cause any reduction of assets for the government. These receipts are recurring in nature. Assets and liability are not affected. Yes, ma'am. Capital receipts. These receipts create corresponding liability for the government stocks. Capital receipts. These receipts create corresponding liability. They create corresponding liability for the government. Example, borrowing. These create corresponding liability. Capital receipts create corresponding liability for the government. These can cause reduction in assets of the government, recovery of loans, disinvestment. These can cause reduction in assets of the government and create corresponding liability. These are non-recurring in nature. Ma'am, how? Oh, never mind.
Okay.
These are non-recurring in nature. Assets and liability of the government are affected. Assets and liability of the government are affected. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we will be doing the next one, which you have to read this. This is the receipt, revenue receipt and the capital
Mm.
receipt. These are the examples. Okay.
Mm.
Sometimes in one marker they ask you that this comes, or they ask you give two examples of a revenue receipt
Yes,
and
ma'am.
the capital.
Indirect
Yes.
tax,
So
yes.
this is the table how you have to remember revenue receipt, capital receipt, right? In capital
Mm.
receipt is simple, recovery of loan, disinvestment, borrowing, and all that, right? But
Yes.
revenue receipt is divided into two parts, tax revenue and non-tax revenue. We will discuss that, don't worry. Okay.
Mm.
And then direct tax, overhead liabilities. This also we'll study. But you have to read this table that okay, in some case they ask you sales tax comes under what? Revenue receipt or capital receipt. So students get confused, right? Because though it is coming under revenue receipt, but it's a long process, right?
Mm.
So they directly cannot relate it. So you have to, like, you'll just make this table in your notebook, right? So that you can remember, like whenever you're revising the things, you can just read this table, and in one marker definitely either they'll be giving you sales tax come under this, or they'll be asking you to give two examples of revenue receipt, two examples of capital receipt, or two examples of indirect tax, two example of non-tax revenue, like, okay.
Yes.
You can just quickly read it.
Yes. Okay. Revenue. Liability to pay and burden of tax falls on the same person. Indirect tax liability to pay and burden tax falls on different persons. Income tax, corporate tax, wealth tax, gift tax. estate duty, expenditure tax. Indirect tax, liability to pay and burden of tax falls on a different person. Sales tax, custom duty, excise duty, service tax, entertainment tax. Indirect tax, liability to pay. Direct tax falls on the same person. Indirect does not falls in it falls on a different person. Liability to pay and burden of tax falls on the same person. Liability to pay and the burden of tax falls on a different person. Example of direct tax: income tax, corporate tax, wealth tax, gift, estate duty, expenditure. Indirect sales tax, custom duty, excise duty, service tax, entertainment tax. Non-tax revenue: interest, receipts, profit and dividend, fees and fines. Yes, ma'am. I'm done, but obviously I need explanation, ma'am. I don't understand.
Yes. Okay. Now, first of all, you have this direct tax. Okay. So direct taxes are those tax whose final burden falls on the person makes the payment. Okay, just a minute. Huh?
Okay.
Okay. So it's like, for example, over here, like you are, like, see, whenever you are earning, you have to pay tax, right?
Yes.
So over here, you have to pay the tax, right? So it's like you are earning and you are the only one who will pay the tax, right? It's not like you cannot ask your father or you can ask your relatives to pay your tax, right? You are earning, so you will have to pay that, right? So that is direct tax. Direct tax are those tax whose final burden falls on the person who makes the payment to the government. Okay. So over here, whoever is working, yeah, whoever is being affected by the things, that person only will pay to the government. Nobody else will do that, right?
Yes.
Then when the incidents and second is when the incidents and the impact of the tax lie on the same person. Incidents means you are doing the things. Impact means that is impacting you, right? Because your salary is being deducted, so that is impacting you only, not your father, not your mother, right? So that
Right.
is the direct tax. And the impact of direct taxation cannot be shifted. You cannot shift it to someone else. You cannot ask that, okay, dad, please for this month you pay my tax. No, it's not possible. That will be deducted from your salary only, right? These taxes are progressive in nature. Progressive in nature means what government is doing. Government is basically taking the money from the one who are earning, above, you can say 550,000, something like that, right? So over here, tax reduction is there. So it is progressive. Now from that tax, government is, doing the development things, making roads and all that. From the tax collected from the people only, government is working on the development thing. So that is a progressive in nature. These taxes are progressive in nature. Okay.
Yes.
Then these taxes do not affect the market price of the product. So if you are paying, for example, you are paying from your salary, tax are being deducted, right? So because of this, the price of sugar won't be increasing, right? Because your market price and your salary doesn't make any sense. Like there is no relation. So because of this, because of direct taxes, it doesn't affect the market price of the product. Okay.
Right.
Then next is income tax, wealth tax, and the corporate tax. These are the taxes which lies under direct tax. Clear?
And what is corporation tax?
Like whenever you work in a corporate field, like cooperative field, like the corporations and all that, the companies, big companies, over there you have to pay tax.
Okay.
For
Okay.
example,
Okay.
you have a corporation, so again you have to pay the tax. Right.
Right.
Then indirect tax. Indirect taxes are those tax which are paid to the government by one person, but their burden borne by the other person. Clear? It's like, for example, you went to a shopping, right? You went for shopping. Over there, you shop a lot, like everything. Again, over there also you have to pay the tax, right?
Yes.
So over there, you can ask your father to pay tax, right? It's not compulsory that you did the shopping, so you will only pay this,
Right.
right? So over here, this is what that some other person can pay on behalf of yours. So over here, the incidents, like you were doing shopping, but the impact lie on the different one. Can lie, right? Your father can pay your bill. Then the impact of the indirect tax can be shifted to others. These are generally regressive in nature, right? So they don't contribute to a good thing. They are regressive in nature. Like why this is basically you have to like it's not Hassan Reza. Okay, so it's basically for what? It is basically for the other things, not for this thing, right? So it's regressive in nature means like over here, what is happening? You have to pay. So over there, whatever tax you will be giving, na, that will be doing the development for the particular market, particular mall. Okay, not for the development of other people. So it is regressive in nature, not progressive. Clear?
Ma'am, regressive in nature. 1 second, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay, no issues. You can ask me. Okay. See, regressive is, for example, progressive is, for example, because of the tax, whatever money you are paying, right? I'm just building a, schools. I'm constructing road and all that, right? That is progressive. But over here, if you will pay the mall the tax, okay. For example, you shop for 1,000 rupees, you paid 100 rupees tax, okay. That 100 rupees basically won't be going to government.
The
That
government, right?
yeah, that the mall will be using for their development.
Yeah,
Right? So it
right.
is regressive, not the progressive. It is not progressing the economy, right? They are only
Right.
themselves progressing, but not others, right?
Yes, understood. Yes.
I don't know. Just a minute. So many people are joining. Let me just ask why.
Okay.
I don't know them, so I've just dropped the text to the council. Maybe they have their class and we are at wrong link. I don't know. Let me just ask. Till then, we can continue. Okay.
Yes.
Mm. So this is what. And over here, indirect taxes have direct and the positive effect on the market price, right? So over there, because of them, there is a positive impact, right? Positive effects means like, for example, if the product
In
is
the
for 10
market.
rupees, right?
Yes, ma'am.
If you will add tax, then it will be costlier, right?
Yes.
And if you will reduce the tax, then it will be cheaper. Clear?
Yes.
Example, GST, right?
Yes.
Which is goods and service tax. So now
Yes.
you will quickly read it out and then we'll just move to the next one.
Is Sania? Sania, am I audible to you?
Yes.
Yes. So, do you have bio or maths?
Actually, I had a class, like I'm joining, like I'm a faculty
Okay.
itself. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought so.
No problem.
You have a
Actually,
class
they
on
are
this
just
ID.
adding me to other room. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you. Sorry. Uh, Mamuna.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mamuna, are you able to see the screen?
Yes. See home.
Okay. Please do let me know the question number that you have doubt in.
Question number 7.
7 then.
Question number
Then
7 and 14.
7 and 14 only, or
Yes.
any other?
No, sir.
Okay, so can you see? Do you have the question right now with you?
Yes.
Okay, just focus here. Only two question is there. So in question number 7, you can see the reaction 2 and 205 that will give you 4NO2 plus O2. 4NO2 plus O2. And it is given that in the question it is given that d of N2O5 upon dt that will be equal to k into N2O5. This is the rate basically, and it is also given that d of NO2, since it is product, that's why there is positive sign, and there is no sign, that means positive sign, will be equal to k dash N2O5. And it is also given that d of O2 upon dt that will be equal to k double dash N2O5. The relationship between k and k dash and between k and k double dash, we need to find the relation between these two. So if you are going to write the rate in terms of a stoichiometric coefficient for this, so can I write 1 by 2 and then d of N2O5 upon dt that will be equal to plus 1 by 4 d of NO2 upon dt. Can I write this? Are you aware of this, right? Plus 1 by 1 d of O2 upon dt.
Yes.
Now see, if you're going to see this will be basically minus 1 by 2. And at the place of this, you can see this and this are same. This and these are same. So I'm going to remove the negative sign. What I want you to see is this part only, this part, this part. So what is this part? This part is basically equals to k into N2O5. K into 1205. Yes or no? Please do let me know. If you are saying this is equal to this, that is given in the question. Namuna. Okay. After this, you can see this part. So I want you to see this part. That means is equal to 1 by 4, and this part is equal to k dash into N2O5 into N2O5. So I'm going to write it. And you can see this part is equal to k double dash N2O5. K double dash N2O5. Now what you need to do, you can see all the N2O5 can be cancelled, and here it will be left. K by 2 will be equal to k dash upon 4, that will be equal to k double dash. Now you can uh, this equals and this, you can equate this. So that means basically if you are going to equate this, because you need to establish a relation between k and k dash, this will be equal to k will be equal to k dash by 4, or k dash will be equal to 2k. And if you want to establish a relation between them, k dash upon 4 will be equal to k double dash. And this can be proved that k double, no, we need to find a relation between k and k double dash. So you need to equate these two, this two. So k upon 2 will be equal to k double dash. That means k is equal to 2k double dash. So according to the question, we need to establish a relation between k and k dash, and k and k double dash. So this is the relation. K dash is equal to 2k, k is equal to 2k. Wait a minute. K dash is equal to 2k, and the second relation is basically k dash is equal to k upon 2. Are you getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes.
So the next question is 14, right?
Yes.
Question number 14, if you are looking at the question number 14, you can see when initial concentration of the reactant is doubled, initial concentration is doubled, the half-life of the 14 is quite easy. For the 14, if you will see, when initial concentration of the reactant is doubled, zero order reaction. Okay. So do you have remember the half-life of zero order reaction? T half is equal to basically R naught upon 2k. This is the formula. Do you remember? That means T half is directly proportional to initial concentration. If this will be half, then this will also be half. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Is there any other doubt?
No, sir. I solved all.
That's quite good. So you need to take care of these small things, like the question that you have asked is quite easy. Easy. How many times did you solve this? How many times did you try question number 7 and 14?
Question number 7 I tried, but I couldn't do it. But question number 14 I was a little confused.
Okay, no problem. And rest of them up to 37, you did it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Then I'll see you in the next class.
Thank you, sir.